Hello! Hi, Tia. Karis deserves to be overlapped with. Well, perhaps that's true. One thing that I can tell you, though, is that the decision to delay this evening's stream was not because of Karis. There was some IRL stuff that came up shortly before the stream, but luckily nothing bad, and it's all handled now. But I figured I might not be able to make the stream in time with that, and so I decided to delay it for a little bit. But yeah, I saw that Karis, was streaming a very fitting game for him, with the librarian putting away books, cleaning up the Library of Alexandria. So I think it's wonderful that he's giving that game a try. Good evening to the most beautiful man with a monocle ever, probably. Oh, wow. Well, you flatter me quite a bit there, Tia. Thank you. I know there are lots of great-looking men with monocles out there. It's just a look that inherently goes hard by its very nature. So to know that I rank so highly, even among such a good-looking tier of men, really does mean a lot. Muting Karis because you're live. Well, thank you. So yeah, it's been about a week since I've played this game, and from what I remember of the story, and chat, you might have to fill me in on some things if I forget, but from what I remember of this story, we are the world's last confidant. That's right, and the world is right about to end. So much so that the game's narrator, the cat, whose name I'm forgetting now, describes it as being in a sort of superposition between life and death. Sort of a superposition of the apocalypse, if you will. And our role in this game is to help people fix their final regrets. That is, we talk with them on the phone and see if we can help put their souls at ease. Or at least something along those lines. The story is a little vague, and there's lots in it that's left mysterious. At least up till now. But perhaps in this stream we'll get some answers. Also, Pinboo, hello! Long time no see, eh, Pinboo? Always good to see you stopping in. I saw you were streaming yesterday, by the way, with your voice bank stream. Unfortunately, I was not able to really catch the stream, but I did notice that you were streaming it, so I hope that stream went well. But I know that, chat, that I am kind of curious to see where the story goes from here. And so let us issue the usual yap fest at the beginning of the stream and just jump right into it. I'm not much of a yapper, am I, when it comes to starting streams? Maybe I should become more of one, though. You know? Maybe that's an area where I could bulk up my skills, my yapping skills, if you will. It's just hard sometimes to find things to talk about. Or maybe it's just whenever I have a game in front of me, like I'm anxious to play the game. Okay, chat. So, oh, that's right. We left off at the scene where we're trying to call someone named Kathy, and the first time we called her, we got someone else on the phone, a very boorish gentleman. Or not really a gentleman, just sort of a man, but like a man-cat, if you will. Indeed, I think it's been a while since I reared my head in here. Yeah, well, people always have different schedules, I suppose, but to my mind, it's always good to see someone in the comments, no matter how long it's been. Feels like no time has passed at all. Let's see if we can give them a call here. Oh, that's right. Hamlet is the cat's name. Remember, Mary, perseverance is key. Oh, right. I need to find out who I'm calling. Sorry, chat. Give me a second. It's been a while since we've played this game. I'm getting reacquainted. That's right. 6331, third party number. I just heard Karis read my note that you're live and say, okay, everyone, go to Axis stream if you want. See, that's the kind of guy Karis is. He's so gracious when it comes to this kind of thing. 6331, okay. So that is the number I need to call. Gonna use our handy-dandy rotary phone. Only 90s kids will get this, by the way, the rotary phone. Using some ancient technology here. See, who's it gonna be this time? Hello. Oh. For a second I thought it was going to advance on its own, but okay, I have to actually click the hello. This is kind of an unusual visual novel in that way. It has some interesting choices being made with the interface. Yes, hello. Who could this be? Yes, who is it? This is... He knows who we are. Are you Mary? The one who was... What? You've been deceiving me this whole time. Or is it deceiving us this whole time? It's rare for you both to be streaming concurrently, but if I must choose between my gym mates, I'm going to pick the one who's also my Oshi. Well, it's very flattering. Thank you again, Tia. Haven't you? But if you were to pick Karis, know that I would not be angry. So in the future, if Karis is ever doing a stream where you're just really interested in the topic, know that there's no pressure to choose this stream. Also, Bello, hello. Hello, you're just in time. Bello, we just called up this mysterious entity, and he's making some strange accusations at us of having deceived him. But we don't really know much else about him so far, so hopefully we'll get some answers soon. What do you mean? You still don't understand the meaning of those words, do you? Do you know who I am, too? Tell me, who are... Oh, it looks like he hung up. Maybe if I say something, though, it'll change the future. Hello, who are you? Hello? The line went dead. What on earth was that? Well, I shall hang up the phone in that case. There's nothing more that can be done here. Yes, where did that come from? I abandoned Karis as well. Oh, I hope I haven't caused too many people to abandon Karis. You never know, chat. He might get lonely. He might get lonely if too many of his viewers swap streams. Also, you might want to know that Komi said this in Karis' chat alluding to my comment about you thought it was bad form to talk about someone handsomer for your kinder streamers in chat. You all are ruthless on Karis here. Well, for my part, I think Karis and I are handsome in different ways, and I wouldn't say I'm smart. I think we're smart about different areas, even though we both do philosophy. I think we're sort of drawn to different areas of philosophy. I would say I'm more of a strictly analytic philosopher. I think he has more knowledge of continental philosophy than I do. So figures like perhaps Hegel and Kierkegaard, philosophers of continental Europe. I think Karis is very good when it comes to that kind of thing. But yes, Mary asks, where did that come from? That last call. So the number 6331 will connect me to someone at random. And I have to keep trying it until I get it right. I know you wouldn't be mad, but I've been watching him ramble for a while, and I feel like it makes more sense to catch a story-based game. Okay. Yeah, sometimes it could be nice to vary things up a bit. With this game in particular, the story is kind of hard to figure out. But I guess that's part of the charm of a game like this, is piecing all the elements of it together as you play. Cares... Those weren't my words? Oh, okay. Yeah, and to be... sorry, I didn't mean to suggest that they were your words. I was just responding to the thought in general. But I probably could have made that clearer. But yeah, thank you for relaying the thought from the other person, from Komitia. Karis in phenomenology and mind, if I recall. Yeah, I think that's right. At least for the phenomenology, and I guess also for the mind. Like, those are areas that I haven't looked into too much. But I think Karis has, at least more than I have for those areas. Let's see. So I have my notebook. And then... Okay, no new markings in it, surprisingly enough. But I guess that 6331, now we know third-party number. So that's just going to be general random number. I mean, I don't think there's anything else I could do now except keep trying it. Because I know I'm trying to get that specific person from the last stream. Trying to get in touch with Kathy. Karis insists that he's ugly, but yes, you're both smart and kind. I have the world's best gym mates. So we all make a good team in philosophy. That phone call just now. I wonder if Hamlet would know anything. Actually, you bringing it up, Tia, does remind me of, I think it was in a stream with Phi, a collab with Phi that he did, where they talked about this, about how if someone says they're ugly, then shouldn't we just trust them and not rush to encourage them, you know, without really knowing for sure what we're talking about. And I do think there's something to be said for that. At the same time, though, I also want to say that I think a lot of people are too hard on themselves when it comes to their appearance. Like, I know there are many people who feel quite insecure about their appearance, or even if not insecure, like they might just have a low opinion of their appearance, and maybe they've made peace with it. Maybe they don't feel nervous about going out in public or showing their face or anything like that, but still they might just think, like, I don't look very good. Whereas, in my view, a lot of these people look better than they think they do. I think it's very easy to be too hard on ourselves when it comes to our appearance. And so partly for that reason, whenever someone says, you know, I think I'm ugly, I'm always a little inclined to wonder, like, would I think that if I saw them? And somehow I have a feeling that, to me at least, and probably to most other people, they wouldn't look as bad as they think that they look. Anyway, that's just my sense of things. Could always be wrong, of course. It says, that phone call just now, I wonder if Hamlet would know anything. Oh, I guess that's my clue. I need to talk to the cat. Yes, Hamlet, I have a question for you. Who's on the other end of that call? They knew my name. And their voice sounded familiar. That's right, they accused me of deceiving them. So it sounds like they have beef with me, whoever it is. But I can't remember. I'm scared. Hamlet, please tell me what's going on. Oh, now where have you gone? Oh. Well, I guess the cat's not going to help me out after all. Yes, that was an interesting stream. Still, I find it suspect that Karis' judgment of himself comes just from others' reactions. What does he think of myself? For example, I like catching my own reflection. Yeah, that's an experience I can identify with too. Sometimes looking in the mirror and thinking like, damn, that guy looks good. Or damn, like I look good today even, you know. Maybe I don't quite look good all the time, but you know, on certain days the stars align. I'm just like, wow, like I'm really smoking it today. So it sounds like you have a similar experience, Tia. I think the standard of beauty / ugliness is probably the most understudied aspect of power as a social form of control. Ooh, that's interesting. Although, maybe I'm just a crit theorist who happened to study under the guy who did aesthetic politics. Yeah, I definitely think that when it comes to these discussions, of course, there are interminably many discussions about racial privilege and gender and so on, and people have lots of different views about that, but it does surprise me that there's not more discussion in a similar vein about just attractiveness privilege, you might say. Just being conventionally attractive. I know there's certainly some, but it seems like one of those things that people don't really explicitly address quite as much as you might expect. But there's no doubt that it has a huge, absolutely huge impact on one's life, whether one is attractive or unattractive. I meant, what does he think of himself? I see. Those are almost my thoughts on the issue exactly. From previous interactions with you, I suppose you view yourself as quite handsome, rightfully. Oh, thank you, Tia. Yeah, Oh, I suppose you view yourself. Yeah, it is true. Yeah, I think that overall, I mean, I'm pretty happy with the way that I look. So I think that yeah, there aren't many aspects of my appearance that I would change if I had the chance. Like, maybe I would give myself the power to, like, change my eye color like I can do right now, but apart from a few things like that, you know, not really anything too much. I have this pet theory is that nobody is actually as homophobic or transphobic insofar as they find these people attractive. It seems to me that transphobia especially is extremely polarized through a perceived imagined ugliness attractiveness in these identity categories. Oh, right, like if one didn't judge trans people to be ugly, maybe one wouldn't be prejudiced against them. I suppose that seems relatively plausible, in that a lot of the sentiments against certain groups of people, like when there are memes made about them, very often, if it's a negative meme, the meme will emphasize ugliness in some way, or perceived ugliness. I think that that's an objective component to attractiveness that Karis hasn't addressed, so as you said, for all we know, we could meet up with him IRL and find out he's hot. Yep, that would not surprise me in the slightest, if that happened. So still nothing new in the notebook. Guess we just have to go back to the phone on this one. So the number 6331 will connect me to someone at random. And I have to keep trying it until I get it right. Yes. 6331. Who's it going to be this time, chat? Hopefully not someone too mean to us. Last two phone calls have been kind of iffy, but oh, this one looks like a reasonably nice gentleman. Says, "Hello, William. Is that? Hey, it's John. This is one of the people we wanted to talk to, right? John's the one who is like William's stepdad. Karis gives me people are clearly into him, but gets annoyed if you try to get him to see them." Yeah, I think that's fair too. It's me, Papa. Please answer me, William. Yeah, like what do you even say to that? This isn't William? Well, who is it then? It went through to someone who wants to talk with William. Could say I'm William or I'm Mary. Yeah, he's not going to trust me if I say that I'm William. If this is too weird, you don't have to answer now, but since you know what I think of you, do you think I'm conventionally attractive? I'm trying to test this idea about objective attractiveness. Oh, that's John. Oh, yeah. That is John. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, and this isn't to say that you should feel bad for asking. It is a slightly awkward question to answer on stream, because I'm inclined to say, like, yes, but somehow it feels just strange saying that. So, how about this? In a maximally respectful way, yes. Imagining respectfully or remembering respectfully. Yes, my answer is yes on that one. But I'll say on this one, yes, I am Mary. This is Mary. Mary, is it? Don't know anyone by that name. I've been waiting, you see, in this pitch black room for William to call. Wait, please. I just want to ask one thing. Are you John? Yes, that would be me. But who might you be? What do you know about me? What do I know about John? If I remember correctly, Lucy said John was the wealthy owner of... Was it a hotel? No, a prison? A phone box? I believe it was the hotel. I think I wrote it down in my notebook. John is the one who had... Okay, well, I'm going to check the notebook just to be sure, but I'm pretty sure it's the hotel. Yep, Edison hotel owner. Looks like we were right. Hotel. I love how it gives the little halo of revelation every time we choose the right answer in this game. Are you, by any chance, the owner of the Edison Hotel? Also, chat, on that note, for some reason, to me, it feels like the game audio It's getting a little bit louder. If it's getting too loud, just let me know, and I can lower it in OBS. Sometimes the volume of this game fluctuates a little bit, I think. William's adoptive father. Would be me, all right. John, proud owner of the Edison Hotel. Oh, he looks so proud. An owl was a good choice of animal for this guy's character. Luxury hotel, the envy of any man of means. Indeed, I built it from the ground up. But tell me, who are you exactly? I don't know of any Mary in my circles. I know you, though. Ooh, going for the mysterious, kind of ominous answer. Oh, really? Then answer me this. Which animal is mounted in the lobby of my hotel? An owl or a lion? Mounted in the hotel lobby. It has to be an animal he likes, surely. Let's see, do I have this one in my notebook? Well, there's an owl above the thing, and also he himself is an owl. He seems like he's kind of full of himself. So I'm gonna guess an owl. Although you never know, the game could be playing us for a loop here. But it's worth a try anyway. Owl it is. Correct! I see, I see. You must be one of my regular patrons. Ooh, what do I say now? Do I say that's right? Or no, I'm not? Decisions. Normally I don't like lying, but this time I feel like if I tell him that's right, he might be more likely to listen to us and make the right choice when it comes to William later, to helping William. So for right now, I'll just go with that's right. Good to hear, good to hear. Well, you've certainly piqued my interest. Ah, never mind. Right now, my only concern is William. Mary, if you know anything about William, anything at all, please tell me. My precious memories of him are slowly fading away. If I cannot speak to him, then at the very least. Mary, have you learned anything about William? Please, I need to know. Let me check the words in the notebook. Ooh, that's right. Yeah, I have several good points to give him there. Maybe we'll start with this one, that he wanted to be an astronomer. Well, he wanted to be an astronomer when he grew up, didn't he? Ah, that's right. William loved the night sky. I remember now. I wanted to do something special for him. So I said I'd build him a home planetarium. Oh, you should have seen the look on his face. A home planetarium. That's right. William wouldn't let me. He said, it's too expensive to build a private planetarium. Oh, William's a sweet boy. That reminds me of the kind of thing that I probably would have said when I was his age, if somebody had made that kind of offer to me. So instead, we ended up poking holes in a lampshade. Okay, it's a nice compromise. And we watched the lights shining through it together. Did you enjoy it? Seems like he enjoyed it. Was William happy? Ecstatic. I hadn't spent a dime, yet William and I, we were happy as could be. I was shocked, you know, that such a thing was even possible. Oh, that's right, he would be shocked. Because this seems like the kind of guy who thinks that happiness has to come from spending a lot of money, but then he has this experience with William, and it gives him this revelation that, hey, there's more to life than just having lots of wealth. You can have fun with a lampshade and just poking some holes in it and pretending they're planets. The art style of this game reminds me of Aviary Attorney, which is really fun. Oh, cool. I don't think I've played that one. Aviary Attorney. Might have to look into that one after this, because I really do like the art style of this game. This kind of art style, I think, is a really good fit for games like this. How nice. Mary, have you learned anything about William? Please, I need to know. Well, let's see. Some other things. Yeah, okay, yeah, treasures things. That's a nice note. Apparently William took very good care of his things. Ah, now that you mention it, he did do that, didn't he? He would use up his pencils until they were this small. He says it like I can see him. He really wants to know everything about William. Okay, let's tell him more. We'll tell him everything he wants to know. William was a sweet, cheerful boy. Yes. Yes, that's right. He was a sweet boy indeed, always looking after others. Anytime you were feeling down, he'd trot right up to you. It's kind of like a nice, like, friendly doll, like a golden retriever. Even though I think he's a deer in the game, but his personality reminds me of a golden retriever. That ever happened to you, chat? You ever been sad about something and then suddenly a golden retriever was there to greet you and just love you and help cheer you up, you know, help feel you better, help make you feel like you were the coolest person on the planet? I don't think that's ever happened to me, but I like to imagine it happening, you know? Seems like a golden retriever would be a really good dog for that, for, you know, those cheer up moments. Or if there's ever a moment when you're, like, really sad, and even if you can't be fully consoled, if you're just having a moment of, like, crying and you need a dog to hug, I feel like a golden retriever would be a really good dog for that. These are kind of random thoughts, but anyway. Can't deny that they're true, though. I feel like that one is just undeniable. And give you the brightest smile you've ever seen. It wasn't just me. Everyone at the hotel adored that boy. Okay, so I think we've exhausted... Oh. We haven't exhausted it. We can tell about... So why don't we move from Papa and then to Mother? Then we'll tell them about Lucy. Maybe that will help them set their souls at peace. William called you his Papa, didn't he? That's right. The first time he called me Papa, oh, I was over the moon, I tell you. He didn't have too much to say about that one, but maybe he'll have more to say about Lucy. Oh, Jinx! Hello, hello! Welcome. Right now we're just talking with John about his adoptive son, William. We're trying to bring back John's memories of William. Do you know William's mother, Lucy? Lucy. Did you say Lucy? Yes, I did. You've never run into a Goldie? I met one once on a walk and she was really sweet, but shoved me over like most other dogs. Yeah, it's always funny when they're so excited to see you that they just, bowl you right over. I mean, I have run into golden retrievers before, but I don't think ever when I was sad, you know? I think that's the key missing ingredient. But who knows, maybe someday I'll be sad and suddenly a golden retriever will just be there right when I need one. Yes, Lucy. I'm in no mood to speak of her. So he doesn't like Lucy. I see. All right. What happened between Lucy and John? Ah, that's right. Mary, speaking to you has helped me remember something. William, he loved stargazing. I know I'm not blonde or fluffy, but if you ever need encouragement, you could just DM me. Well, thank you. And that does mean a lot to you. I really do appreciate that. It's a beautiful sentiment and one that I will keep in mind. When I took him in, he brought this old, worn-out telescope with him. He was simply enamored with the thing. And yet, there was a huge crack in the lens. For some reason now, T, I can't help but imagine, like, I'll be walking in a park one day, and then you'll be there and knock me over, kind of like the dogs, the golden retriever that knocked you over. I know it's unlikely, but for some reason now, that's the image that's going through my head. Oh, that's sad, though. There's a crack in the lens. I didn't think he'd get a good view of the stars like that. So I got him a fancy new telescope for his birthday. Still, he refused to let the old one go. Perhaps it was simply in his nature to cherish his belongings. I think it could be that, but also maybe Lucy was the one who gave it to him. Maybe that's why. Ah, yes, it's coming back to me now. I believe that telescope was a gift from someone important to him. What did I tell you, chat? A telescope. I should write that down. Miss William never got rid of the telescope he'd gotten as a gift. Please, Mary, find out more about William. Of course. Just wait a moment. I'll call you back. See, is there anything else? Well, we could ask her about this. Her son, William. Is William your son? That's right. Not biologically. I adopted him. I gave him his own room in the hotel and raised him like my own flesh and blood. Okay, so that's dialogue we've already seen. Actually, it would be useful if we knew what he wants to know. Yeah, what would you like to know about William? Let me think. I want to remember what sort of person he was. Okay. So that's all we can do for right now. I'll see what else I can find on William. I have another lead. I'll call you back. Just hold on, okay? Alright, I'll be waiting. Well, overall, I think John was nicer than one might have expected. John also cared a lot for William. Yeah, it seemed like he does. Oh, right. I should try drawing his picture. Yeah, Mary is such a good artist. These are really good drawings. I think John looks something like this. Yep, that's the spitting image of him, I'd say. I should draw him on this page too. Oh, right. John wants me to find out more about William. Maybe if I talk to Lucy again, maybe I can find out more that way. So what I was asked to do... Both Lucy and John are counting on me. Maybe I can save both of them in one go. But how to find out more about William? Well, now Hamlet is here. Maybe he'll have some answers for us. Greetings, Mary. Were you able to reach John? Hamlet, when did you get back? I'm afraid I can't help you with reuniting William and Lucy. But I can see you're well on your way there after successfully contacting John. But there is a caveat. Lucy and John, the two of them, cannot call each other directly. Why not? Oh, really? Yes, really. It's prohibited. Humans may no longer interact with one another. So Lucy and John can't talk to each other directly. And neither can Lucy and William. Indeed. They're isolated, cut off from one another. A sad reality, but one they must accept. What a lonely world. Ah, but that's why you're here, is it not? Listen, you are the only one who can freely communicate with others now. Well, that certainly does change things. Because you, Mary, you and no other, are the world's last confidant. I see. Well then, I suppose the next person I should talk with is probably Lucy. John wanted to hear more about William. In order to learn more about William... See, it lets us piece things together on our own. But given that there were only 2 people I can call, namely John and Lucy, and we've already talked to John, I think next up we should talk to Lucy. Yes, I think that stands to reason. So 1336. Mary, do you wish to call Lucy, or do you wish to call John? Yes, I think Lucy, 1336. Mary, were you able to reach William? It's about William. I'll say I've spoken with John. Yeah, I don't think I've managed to speak with William directly yet, or at least not in this stream so far. YouTube censored my comment earlier, but I said I'd never knock you over and would probably fall over from being in your presence instead. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I imagine you like running up and just maybe like giving me a hug, but like if the momentum from running might have like knocked me over, which to me is kind of a funny image. But it sounds like you would take due care and be very careful not to knock me over, which is very considerate of you. So, yeah, thank you to you. So I have spoken with John. Lucy, this John you told me about, William's adoptive father, who raised him while you were in prison. Yes, that's right. Were you? Yes, I was able to reach him. Oh, but he won't be able to call you, apparently. Not because he refuses to, or anything. That's just how it works, I suppose. It's all right, Mary. Don't trouble yourself over it. I think I understand. This phone only connects to you, no? That seems to be the case. What did John have to say? Well, he also wanted to hear about William. He seems to be losing his memories of him too. And he's trying to resist that in a way. I see. I understand how he feels. Oops. Accidentally clicked on the notebook button. Mary, were you able to reach William? I'm afraid not. About that to Lucy. I know you really wanted to speak to him again. But it's not possible. I'll figure something out. I want to give her encouragement so badly, but Hamlet seemed pretty confident in himself when he reported that it won't be possible. So I think I should be honest with her and tell her it's not possible. I mean, maybe there's a way to figure something out later in the game. We can't rule that out. But also, I feel like I would be irresponsible if I got her hopes up when I really didn't know that it would be possible. I also wanted to say I recently watched The Amazing Digital Circus, and when I saw that you were streaming this again this week, it seemed to me that there were common themes of existentialism that have been on my mind lately. Oh. Yeah, feel free to tell more, Tia. But I suppose, yeah, one could draw a connection with both of those. In the sense of perhaps the human as just sort of being someone who's thrown here. Existence precedes essence. Like, we don't make the choice to come into existence, but once we find ourselves here, we have to decide what meaning to give ourselves. I can see a kind of connection there. I don't know if that was the facet of existentialism that you were thinking of, but I suppose there are some others that could have some interesting connections to both that show and this game. But yes, as for Lucy right now, I will tell her it's not possible. But it doesn't seem possible. I'm sorry, Lucy. I see. No, I'm sorry. It's my fault for asking too much of you. I'm fine with this. I think I'm starting to accept it. I think it does say a lot about Lucy that she accepts things so readily, even when she probably doesn't want to. She seems to have a very high level of maturity. This must be what it feels like to die. Helpless to reach anyone, alone with the words you wanted to say, wanted to hear. Simply fading into nothingness as precious memories disappear. This is death. Lucy. So, Mary, you said you spoke to John. Tell me, did he say anything about William? Oh, yes. He did say something, and I think you're going to like this, Lucy. William never got rid of the telescope. According to John, William had a telescope he had gotten as a gift, and he refused to get rid of it. John thought that maybe that might have been a gift from you. I see. Oh, that sweet boy. So glad to hear it. I remember now, back when I was still with him. We would polish the lens every day. There's an image of Lucy and William flashing across my mind. Maybe I should draw it. It's not bad, if I do say so myself. Yes, our artistic skills are very impressive, as always. Oh, it just seemed to me that there's a certain pointlessness embedded in the premises of both pieces of media that resonates with me. Trapped in a purgatory where actions are unable to reach. Yeah, they both definitely do have this element of being trapped in purgatory, where actions are unable to reach others. How does one find the will to keep living? Yeah, that is intriguing. I suppose with the Amazing Digital Circus, we kind of already... We know a little bit, at least, about how the characters resolve that situation, which I won't say anything more about it now because I don't want to spoil it for anybody who might not have seen it, but in this game, yeah, I suppose we're finding that out just slowly as the story progresses. Like, how will Mary find out the will to keep living? Or will she find the will to keep living? Will she just go on being the world's last confidant? Like, and what happens when her mission is complete? If she ever does complete it. I mean, I guess in Mary's case, fortunately for her at least, she's still able to reach others, but for people like Lucy, yeah, it seems like, well, she can talk to Mary, but I guess that's it, and there is this sense of being trapped and not able to communicate with the people who matter most to you, which is indeed a most tragic situation. So I don't know if there's a way we'll be able to help Lucy, but I hope that we can. I hope we can have some kind of satisfactory resolution to her character arc. Say, Mary, I'm so very grateful to John for looking after William from the bottom of my heart. I know John probably doesn't think too well of me, but looking back, I should have expressed my gratitude to him. Yeah, I think Lucy is an uncommonly mature character in a game like this. Mary, listen. I'd like you to pass on a message to John. It's a message? Yes, you can speak to him, right? I want to tell him thank you for taking care of William. Would you be willing to... If I can never hear William's voice again, then I at least want to share something with someone who knew him. So please, if you could do me this favor, should you trust me with this? I'll say, yeah, of course, Lucy, I'll do it. Thank you. What would you like me to tell him? Tell him just thank you. I think that will be enough. After all. Yes? John and I have always shared a bond through William. More words won't be necessary. I see. I'll just say that then. Yes, tell him thank you. Oh, and Mary, once you've given John my message, will you call me back? Of course. I'll call you back, I promise. Just hold on. Thank you, Mary. So now we know what we have to do next. We just have to call John, tell him the message, and then call Lucy back. She was grateful to John for taking care of William when she couldn't. John refused to talk about Lucy, though. Will he be willing to accept this message? Ooh, I might have to choose my choices carefully in the branching dialogue. Okay, time to call John. Which, if I remember correctly, 1663. He's probably still waiting for us. It won't go through. That's odd. Oh, it's not 1663. I had the numbers right, just kind of in the wrong order, sort of. Mostly right numbers, just wrong order and one extra 6 instead of extra 3. It's 6331. Yes. In my defense, Lucy's number is 1336. So all these numbers are 1, 3, or 6. I think they did that just to make it a little extra confusing for us. So 6331. Now 3, 3, 1. There we go. Now we are in business. Okay, good. Good, it's him again. Yes, hello again, Mary. Bella says, I'm scared. Not living is so scary. I agree, Bella. I think that the prospect of non-existence is, to me, one of the scariest things. Because I love life. I like being alive, you know? It's all I've ever known, being alive. And to me, there is something very sad about the thought of that ending. Which, of course, yeah, doesn't mean that it won't happen. Perhaps it will happen. Perhaps I and everyone else will one day go out of existence. Perhaps that is all that waits us after death. But I'm very much like you in finding that a scary prospect. And I know not all philosophers, not all thinkers, not all people are like that. Some people are not troubled by the prospect of death. But if I'm to be honest, I'm someone who is. Sounds like maybe we're alike in that regard. Did you find out anything else about William? I want to hear more about him. I only had him for a scant 3 years. But I did my damnedest to raise him well. And yet, those memories keep slipping away one by one. Please, Mary, help me remember. I beg of you. Mary, I'll be waiting here for anything else you can find out about William. Yes, well, let us consult our notebook. So we do have this thank you message. We also have this part about him being stronger, which we talked about last time with him. We could probably mention it here, but just to make sure that I don't get shut out of this option too soon, I think I should just go right ahead and tell him this one. Make sure we're covering all the most important bases, and then if there's room at the end, we'll tell him the additional things. It's not quite about William. Rather, it's about his mother, Lucy. Lucy, you say? That's right. It turns out I can't reach William directly, but I can talk to Lucy. Is that so? She was truly grateful to you. She was? Really? To be perfectly honest, I thought I had done Lucy wrong. What happened? It's a long story. If you want to talk about it, I'll listen. I'll let you take your time. These are both quite nice. Let's see, is there a subtle difference between them that's going to change the storyline? If you want to talk about it, so I'll let you take your time. On this bottom, I don't quite like the I'll let you. I think I would prefer if it just said take your time. But then this one, if you want to talk about it, I'll listen. If it were to say something like, I'd love to listen, I could see that one working pretty well. I think I'll go with this top one, but it is a tough choice. If you want to talk about it, I'll listen. You will? Thank you. I'll take you up on that. Okay, good. He's still going to tell us the story. I don't really have a principled defense of continuing to live, but I also struggle going from lying down in bed to sitting up and vice versa, because I hate change and feel the same about life and death. Oh, okay. Well, I guess, yeah, between life and death, it is a pretty big change. Certainly a bigger change than getting up from bed. So, if you're someone who hates change, I can see why the prospect of death might not seem very appealing. Yeah, my defense of continuing to live would just be that people have value. I think that includes everyone. And if death truly is the end of the person, then to me the end of that person's value is something that's very tragic. I'm not sure I fear death / non-living so much as a pointless life. Well, that's very well said to you. Certainly I think a pointless death would be a further thing to fear. Perhaps of those two, maybe it's even the only thing to fear. I know I would count it as just an additional thing to fear. But I think that there are certainly, some who are more along the lines that you're sketching, who think that perhaps death itself is not a bad thing, but just simply a pointless life would be. Oh, there they are, in the past. You see, Lucy, she was actually an employee at my hotel. And, well, she was buried in debt. That damn moneylender would always barge into the hotel and kick up a fuss. Lucy must have been really struggling. Quite so. She grew up in poverty, and her parents left her with a mountain of debt. She'd borrow money, not have enough to pay it off, then borrow even more. Ooh, it's a bad cycle to be in. Her entire life was spent trapped in that endless cycle. On the other hand, my hotel business was going well, and I had some extra savings. So I offered to take on those debts of hers a few times, but she refused. Damn right. And that's when I said something I shouldn't have. What did you say? I told Lucy I'd take over custody of her son, William. I told her to her face that she wouldn't be able to give him the care he deserves. It's rather harsh, though I do understand where you were coming from. mean, it is kind of course, I don't know. We haven't really been told enough so far to know, like, did she have enough money to feed him? Because, like, if not even providing for basic needs like that, then I can kind of understand where he's coming from. But on the other hand, if it's not quite to that level, then I'd want to say maybe that's a bit harsh. Bella says, oh, that's good to you. That makes me think that a pointless death would also imply a pointless life, and vice versa. Well, of course, pointless life over point is worse than pointless death. One can always find new meaning in one's life in the future. Yeah, that's a very good thought too. I think, yeah, both of those. Certainly it does seem right that even if one has not given much of a point to one's life in the past, one could change things, you know, one could start living a more meaningful life. And I think that that holds true not just at a young age, but at pretty much any age. One can always choose a more meaningful path in the future. So I don't want to be too harsh on this guy. I'll just say, yeah, that's rather harsh. Yes, it was. It was a terrible thing to say. But somehow, I feel relieved to hear you tell me that so frankly. Regardless, my careless words ended up pushing her into a corner. Maybe that's why, one day, she snapped. Oh no. What do you mean? From what I gathered, the lender showed up at Lucy's house that day. Lucy couldn't bear the harassment anymore. And she shoved him out of the second-floor window. I was not expecting that. So she defenestrated him. I thought that she would have gone to prison just for either not being able to pay off her debts, like maybe it's a debtor's prison, or maybe because of her taking food from the hotel. But it sounds like there's a little bit more violence involved in the way that she went to prison. It took me a while to type. That was supposed to be addressing acts. Oh, I see. The lender died from the impact, and Lucy was sentenced to prison. So that's why. I can't believe it. Lucy killed someone. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought she had it in her. But apparently she did. Lucy pushed the moneylender out the window. If I had to offer a principled defensive living, I'd say it's that you always have the potential to make your life and others better. Yes, very nice thought there. And it's true that there's always that potential to do great things with one's future. And when one dies, I guess you could say that potential is taken away, and maybe that, at least for some people, I guess that's what they would say is the tragic component of death. But even if we don't frame it in that way, we could just say a good thing about continuing to live is that we can make good choices, or continue making good choices that will help ourselves and help others. I predicted that as soon as he said she couldn't take it anymore. Okay, wow. You have good powers of prediction then, Tia. Because I wasn't thinking it would go quite that far, but you were exactly right. And he sounded like a real creep, so I don't think she's entirely blameworthy. Yeah, I mean, from the feeling I get is like, if you can push Lucy's buttons that far, like, she seems like a pretty patient person. Like, if you pushed her to throw you out a window, like, that's got to be on you, you know, at least to a significant extent. That's how I ended up taking William in after all. I visited Lucy in prison, you know, just once, and I made her a promise. What was it? I promised that I would raise William well, and that I'd never let her see him again. But why? Isn't it obvious? Lucy had become a violent criminal, a murderer. Okay, but I don't think she poses any threat to William. I think that the threat was just specifically at that particular overbearing debt collector. I didn't want William to live knowing that his mother had blood on her hands. I mean, there's something respectable in that motivation, but I think ultimately it's going to be more harmful to him not to see her again than to see her and just, like, you know the past, but, like, still be able to have a good relationship with her. And here was the saving grace. William was too young at the time to really understand what had happened. So I made Lucy promise me 3 things. And those were: 1, she must never see William again, even after she's released. 2, she may speak to him over the phone, as long as she keeps it brief. 3, that she may never reveal that she is his mother under any circumstances. That explains, yes, why she claimed to be Aunt Kathy. When she called William from the phone box, she said she was Kathy. Did she now? I wasn't aware. I see. So she actually kept her promise. Can't imagine how painful that must have been for her. Ah, what have I done? And I had the gall to tell him, your mother never wants to see you again. She can't be bothered to give you a call, even though she's being released today. Okay, real talk, that is a horrible thing to say. But it does seem like he regrets it now, at least. Poor boy took everything I said to heart. I was just afraid. Afraid he would leave my side. I couldn't bear the thought of it. I think if you had told him the truth, dude, sure, he would have gone back to live with his mother, but he could also have had a relationship with you. Like, you could have still been a friend and a mentor to him. Which I think is like the way a lot of these things go, is that people are afraid of something drastic, and so they take extreme, misguided measures to prevent it. But really, the thing that they were afraid of happening just often doesn't even have much of a risk of happening in the first place. I think there is something very true to life about that. One of the funniest things about Axaeon is watching him encounter people he actually finds reprehensible enough to blame/insult as the nicest member of Philosophy. Yeah, normally I try to be pretty accommodating, pretty understanding, but every once in a while in a game, like, there's a character's decision that just, like, pushes it too far, and I just think, like, dude, like, what are you doing? Or what were you thinking in that moment? And this is kind of one of those moments. John has the inspector... Oh, is it Javert? Haver? I'm not sure how to say that name. It's not a character I'm familiar with. View on justice. It's kind of indefensible. Yeah, no, like, it really is. But I do think John's one saving grace is that he at least seems contrite about it now. So it seems like he's on a better path now, at least. And I think that counts for something. Even if it's too late for him to make it up to William, or to make it up to Lucy. I think the fact that he realizes the truth, realizes he did wrong, I think is still worth something. Mary, I have one final request. Give this message to Lucy. Tell her I'm sorry. I wish I could take it all back. I don't expect her to forgive me, but I had a feeling I wouldn't be able to pass on with these regrets. Mary, if you can give my message to Lucy, I can accept death. So this is how we set his soul at peace, as we convey his final regrets to Lucy. I can understand where he's coming from there. Sometimes when you want to say sorry to someone, but for whatever reason you can't, like maybe they're not around anymore, that's something that I think can really eat at a person, that inability to try to make amends. So if we can do this for him, we'll be doing him a great service, and I think he will be able to rest at peace much more. Faire from... Oh, Les Miserables. Okay, it's French. It rhymes with Colbert. Okay. Thank you, Tia. Yeah, surprisingly enough, I've never read or seen Les Miserables, but maybe I suppose I should one of these days. Would you do this for me, Mary? Don't worry, John, I will. Oh, I like that it didn't even give us a choice there. She immediately went straight to saying, don't worry, John, I will. I've written it down. Thank you, Mary. I feel at peace now. He already feels at peace, even though we haven't done it yet. He must really trust us. Now I can face death. Thank you for everything, Mary. Goodbye, Mary. Farewell. John. What's wrong? John. His breathing, it's gone silent. Well, only one more thing to do with these two characters then. I guess, does that mean he actually died now that we've done this? Like, that was the last thing preventing him from the peace of death. What happened to him? Congratulations, Mary. John has successfully passed on. Oh, just as we thought. Passed on? What do you mean? He was freed of his past regrets and finally succumbed to death. Or rather, he successfully let go. You listened to his words without judgment. And so the cycle of life and death was closed. The cycle of life and death. Indeed, and consequently, John's phone line has ceased to exist. I'm not sure I understand. You mean I can't call John anymore? Correct. That is what happens when you save someone. You have well and truly saved him, Mary. I saved him. I don't feel like I did. Not to worry, you will understand in time. Now make sure you write all this down. Okay. Yeah, so I need to write it all down, but also I need to call Lucy right after this and relay John's final message. I found out why Lucy went to prison, but it doesn't feel right to leave things like this. Oh, that's right. I need to put all this in my notebook. Yes. Yes, what Hamlet said. Once regret disappears, the cycle of life and death closes, cutting them off from you. I didn't fully understand it, but if I saved John, that must be a good thing. Oh, I should include what John said, too. Did she really do that? Could Lucy really have killed someone? She's such a kind person. If you're in doubt, why not ask her? Oh, I suppose we could. I could. Now they're calling us. Is that Lucy? Oh, that will be determined when you pick up the phone. So we don't know yet who's calling us. I really hope it's Lucy. I hope it's not a new character. Tia says, I wonder if I die now, I'd be able to go in peace or have enough regrets that I become a ghost. I hope you'd be able to go in peace. I suppose every person just about has regrets of some sort. But somehow, in your case, Tia, I don't sense that the regrets that a person like you could have would be the type that are so major that they would keep you a ghost, you know, or that they would be like things that are so bad that there would just be no way you could forgive yourself for them. I sense the regrets you have are probably things that are much more human. As in, like, much more understandable is maybe a way I could put it. Like in my case too, I know there are things that when I look back on, like mostly they're mean words that I've said in moments of anger. Not that there have been that many, but sometimes when I look back and think like, why did I say that? Or like, I regret saying that so much. But at the same time, like those are things that I can forgive myself for, Whereas on the other hand, like if I had murdered someone, or if I had tortured someone, or if I had kidnapped and imprisoned someone and taken years from their life in that way, I think that would be much more difficult, if it was even possible at all, to forgive myself for things like that. But I think that the kinds of regrets I was describing earlier of like, speaking too harshly to someone in a given moment, I like to think that those are things that one can more readily forgive oneself for. Anyway, that's a description of my experience, for whatever it's worth. Yes, hello. Oh, good, it's Lucy. All right. Just the person we wanted to talk to. Hello, Mary. I'm sorry. I couldn't get our conversation out of my mind. We were able to give my message to John. I kept thinking and thinking about it until I just had to call. What did he say? Did he tell you anything else about me? So I could think for a moment, or go words. John did tell me why Lucy went to prison, but can I really bring this up with her? Well, he did, yeah. So, yeah, push the moneylender out the window, which, don't worry, Lucy, we understand. It sounds like he had it coming. But also he wanted to... I think we should save the I'm sorry for later. We should say that, yeah, first push the moneylender out the window. Before I talk to her later, didn't I have something important to tell her? Oh. Okay. I guess that's a clue that we need to do the other one first. I was thinking it might make a more satisfying progression to do them in reverse order, but apparently the game wants us to do it this way. So we'll say, please tell her I'm sorry. John asked me to tell you sorry. I see. Thank you for telling me, Mary. I understand what he was trying to say. Completely. And did he say anything else about me? The fact that she understands so quickly his meaning and the fullness behind it makes me think there really is some kind of deeper bond between them. A bond that maybe goes through William in some way, the fact that they both cared for William. Did he say anything else about me? What do you mean? Well, John knows a lot about my past. I still can't remember why I went to prison in the first place. The things he said to William, that must be because of what I'd done. Don't you agree, Mary? So I want to know what I did to deserve to be behind bars. Did John mention anything else, like why I went to prison? Well, he did, as a matter of fact. She might not like hearing this, but I think we owe it to her to tell her the truth about what happened. By the way, something you said earlier got me wondering about the distinction between continental and analytic philosophy. I've mostly read existentialist and Dostoevsky, so I suppose my past experience with philosophy was more continental. But I feel like ever since meeting you, I feel like I've been doing a lot more debating specific logical arguments instead. Yeah, and that's, I think, a kind of cool, neat way to do it is, like, first you get exposure to one of the traditions, and it sounds like in your case maybe it's mostly continental at the start. And then you talk with more people, more philosophers, or read more philosophers, and then you get a little exposure to sort of the other side. So in the case of talking to me, mostly analytic. And I think that that's a good way to get, a nice, solid, rounded background in philosophy, and to find out if there's an approach that sort of speaks to you more, or that resonates with you a bit more. But yeah, definitely, yeah, the existentialists and Dostoevsky, yeah, sounds like a nice, nice beginning, sort of, start, yeah, in Continental, and that's an area that I myself could stand to study more, especially Dostoevsky. Yep. And I guess you could say it's also kind of a spectrum. Like, some existentialist writings feel, you know, more analytic than others, but in general, yeah, for the existentialists, I would certainly put them on the Continental end of the spectrum. So I think you're right to think of them that way, Tia. Like with analytic philosophy, certain conventions in the writing, like having, for example, arguments that are laid out in terms of like a numbered list of premises and conclusions, like that's a thing analytic philosophers do a lot, but like you very rarely see that in Continental philosophy. Continental, yeah, tends to be just a little more poetic, you might say. Poetic in its presentation, maybe a bit more literary, whereas analytic is more about kind of a very strict sense of clarity and rigor. Not that all analytic philosophers are clear writers, but that's at least a goal that we all have. Thanks for saying I don't seem like I'd have major regrets. It's true, I don't think I've made any major mistakes, but I think I'd still regret not getting the chance to start a family or make philosophy popular. Yeah, well, I think those are both very nice goals to have. And luckily it sounds like there's still, yeah, for those, the future, I guess, is wide open for both of them. But, yeah, I think those are wonderful goals to have. Let's tell Lucy, yeah, push the moneylender out the window. I don't know how to say this, but John told me the reason you went to prison, you were being harassed by a moneylender and couldn't take it anymore. And you pushed him out the second floor window of your house. What? Oh, she's remembering now. I killed the lender? Mary, what are you saying? I pushed him out the window? Me? I killed him? It was me. I killed him? If I'm the one who killed him... Oh, that question again. Who are you? Then who am I? Lucy. Yes, that's right. That's right. I killed the lender. Yes, I did. I did it for William, to protect him. And my punishment was to never see my beloved son ever again. He must hate me. Even though I love him so much, because I love him so much, I gave up everything to protect him. That is, I convinced myself that I want to live for someone else. And my punishment was to never see my beloved son ever again. Lucy. He must hate me. Lucy, what's wrong? You're repeating yourself. Even though I love him so much, because I love him so much. She's right, Lucy is repeating herself. Lucy! Mary, this is a disaster. Lucy is trapped within an endless thought spiral. Oh no, that sounds bad. How do we get her out of it? You have tugged upon a memory of hers that ought not to have been touched. Then what do I do? She asked us, though, and I feel like we owed it to her to tell her the truth. What do I do? Choose your words carefully. What do you mean? Only words that touch Lucy's soul can break her free from this cycle. Words filled with the utmost of empathy. You can do that, right, Mary? Okay. I'll try. Okay. Oh, good. Well, that makes it nice. I was wondering, okay, what am I going to say? The game presents us one option. Empathize. I think I should pick this option, chat. Yep, I think this is the way I should go. I should empathize with her, which I will in a moment here. Good to know I have the right idea about the two. It's honestly a little self-conscious, especially given how intense the criticism Continental can be. But I'd like to think both are valuable. Yeah, I do think that there are certain strands of Continental that are of, maybe you could say, questionable merit. But I know some people have defended them. But even people who are like the most diehard defenders of analytic philosophy and the most critical, you might say, of Continental in general, I think even they will often they will often be happy to concede that there's at least some material in Continental that is of value, like even to analytic philosophers. So yeah, I mean, I'm certainly not the kind of person who thinks we can do away with all of Continental philosophy in just a single broad brush. And in the valuable parts of it, yeah, certainly things like the existentialists and Dostoevsky, I think, are an important part of that. I feel Mary's a little dense and recognize others' feelings. Maybe that's mostly for the player's benefit. Yeah, it does seem like most of Mary's character so far is just her like asking, like the cat, like Hamlet tells her something of like, you have to do this, and then she's like, I have to do this, or I can do this. She kind of repeats what the other characters say to her, but just frames it as a question. And I feel like that's more than half of what she says. But to be fair, it's kind of a strange situation she's been put in, so maybe she's just still taking some time to get used to it. All right. Time to empathize. Oh. What I have to do is... Oh, okay, no, here's where the real choices come in. Choose words that'll touch Lucy's soul and break the cycle. Alright, time to focus, chat. Wish me luck. Otherwise, she'll be trapped in this negative spiral forever. I have to choose the right ones. Lucy, can you still hear me? I want to understand you or accept you. I think we should go with understand you. Because acceptance is only meaningful if it's based on understanding. You have to have the understanding first. Oh, actually, I suppose you could accept someone even if you could accept the fact that you don't understand them. So maybe I should revise what I just said. But still, I think understand you is probably the best call here. Lucy, I want to understand who you are. Mary, do you mean that? Really? Yes. So please, talk to me. We'll shoulder your burden together. Okay, I think this is good. The fact that the clock is breaking. Maybe that if once the clock breaks, I can get to free Mary's soul. Or not, get to free Lucy's soul. Aren't your biggest regrets about William or your sin? I think it's ultimately about William. Because even though her sin does seem to trouble her, I think it's maybe the fact that it had such an effect on William is maybe why she regrets it so much. But I could be wrong. I mean, she did seem pretty at peace before we brought up the fact that she had killed the moneylender. And like once we mentioned that she had killed the moneylender, she seemed to kind of go into this spiral of regret. So that arguably is some evidence that it's in fact her sin that troubles her the most. But I don't know, there's just a part of me that feels like William Has to be the right answer here. Oh, your biggest. Okay. Chat, I think I'm going to go with my heart over my head on this one and choose William, but with the very real possibility that I might regret it. I'd pick William too. Yeah, it just feels like the right answer, like the answer the game is expecting. Even though there's, I think, a logical case that could be made for your sin. But I shall say William. About William. William, yes, you're right. Mary, you truly are trying to get to know me. Okay, good. We made the right choice, chat. It was for William's sake. I had no choice. I couldn't stand by and do nothing. Not when he had this precious, his precious. Yes, William had something precious to him. A dream. Okay, this one's easier. He had his dream. William had a dream, didn't he? Right. William had the most wonderful dream. I know what William's dream was, of course, but I want to get her to say it first. William's dream was... well, it was to be an astronomer. That's right. He wanted to be an astronomer when he grew up. An astronomer. Oh, wait. Did I just choose the wrong thing because I didn't get her to say it first? Oh no. Somehow my mind just instinctively went to like the astronomer thing, but I don't know if I was supposed to pick that or like pick some of the other choices and then get Lucy to work up to it. It was kind of a little confusing the way the game presented that choice. But hopefully it doesn't lock us into the bad ending. Mama, look, there's so many pretty stars in the sky. Mama, I know I've said it a million times, but I'm going to be a scientist. And I'm going to make an amazing plane that flies all the way to those stars. Like there, I'll fly to that big red star, and I'll bring some red stardust back home. And I'll give it all to you, Mama. If you sell it to the pawn shop, you'll be rich for sure. Yeah, scientist. I'll make you happy, Mama, just you wait. My life was never going to amount to anything from the start. Born into poverty, worthless in the classroom, my future was never mine to decide. But William, his future shone with as many possibilities as stars in the sky. His future was my future. I absolutely could not afford to let it go to waste. I had to kill him. That vile man had to die for William's future. That's why I killed him. That was the only thing I could ever do for my son. I know I'm the worst mother in the world. I wouldn't say that. I think you actually did plenty of good things for William. No, I didn't. I'm the worst. Calm down. How can I? I'm a failure of a mother. Always drowning in debt. I couldn't even give my own child the love he deserved. Can you imagine that? You did love him, it was the man's fault. I think we should go with, yeah, you did love him. It's okay, the game can be rather opaque. Yeah, sometimes it can. Like that last one, I genuinely don't know if we made the right decision or not. But it looks like we're still in this at least. Stiller, you did love him. Even without money, I think you loved him more than anything. That's right. Really? You do? I tried, but I couldn't give him anything. Nothing at all. There's nothing you could... Oh, so yeah, look, okay, I'm glad they have this one, because this was exactly what I was going to say, is you did give him something. Like, you gave him your love, you gave him your presence. And that's enough. That's what means the most in the end. You did give him something very special to him. I did? I gave... You're not lying, are you? Can I really trust you? If so, then please, Mary, tell me. Do you know what I gave William? I know, or let's think about it together. I mean, I think either of these work, but I'm kind of inclined toward I know. Because she did give him the telescope. I know. You do. Right. Lucy gave William many things, but he cherished one above all the others. I want to tell her myself. But of all the things you gave William, the one he most cherished was... Oh, it's on the other page. Yep, there it is. The telescope. This is the option I was looking for. The telescope. Lucy, didn't you give William his very own telescope? I did. I gave William a telescope. He was so happy. My boy was over the moon. I never thought he'd be so happy. Because that telescope, it was just a battered old piece of junk from the pawn shop. I worked my fingers to the bone at John's hotel, saving up little by little, all while paying off my debt. And when I finally had enough, I bought that old telescope. Mama, this telescope is so cool! I can see the stars so clearly. Thank you so much, Mama. I promise I'll be a scientist one day, Mama. Just you wait. I'll be rooting for you the whole way, William. That's right. That's too real. I think I wouldn't have gotten as far as I have if I weren't lucky enough to marry rich, given that I was born into poverty too. But I think simply being there for your child matters. Certainly, yeah. That is well put, dear. Now I remember. The lens in William's telescope, the reason it was cracked was because on that day, the lender came to our house. He broke all of William's belongings, every single one. He stomped on everything my boy held dear, and laughed the whole time. He destroyed everything. William's clothes, his hat, his desk, his favorite books and stationery, all of it ground to pieces under his feet. Then, lastly, he picked up the telescope and smashed it against the wall. Over and over and over, all while laughing like a maniac. All William could do was cry. He cried so hard. His tears, his big heaving sobs, I'll never forget them. I've forgotten so much since then, but William's cries are burned into my ears. That's why. You couldn't turn the other cheek, and killed the moneylender. I wanted to kill him, so I did it. Did that horrible thing. So don't force yourself for what horrible thing. You If we're trying to help her get out of this spiral of negativity, probably should go with don't force yourself. Lucy, you don't have to force yourself to remember. I know. But the memories won't stop. Oh, that's right. I did it for William's sake. To protect him. I had no other choice. But in the end, I had to leave William. I did what I did to protect him. But that's the reason we were torn apart. William hates me for it. I know he does. He must have tried to forget all about me. Not at all. You can't know that for sure. Yeah, not at all, because he still kept the telescope. Okay, so regardless of the morality of the murder, I certainly don't feel bad for you. Yeah, he's the moneylender is a tough character to feel sympathy for after learning all of that from Lucy. I don't think so at all. How could you think that? Tell me, Mary, can you say without a shadow of doubt that William doesn't hate me? Can you say without a shadow of doubt that William didn't try to forget me? Yes. Yes, I can. Of course he didn't. William loved Lucy with all his heart, that much I know. I have to tell her right here, right now. Something that shows just how much William loved her. So there's the fact that he kept the telescope. Yeah, William, okay, there it is. Okay, so yeah, nothing else on those pages. I was just checking to make sure, but I'm thinking here we should say, yeah, he never got rid of the telescope. That's right, he never got rid of it. Now, is it complete? Have we saved her? Yes, that's right. You told me this, Mary. I'd almost forgotten. Lucy. Mary, this is the truth of what happened. William was screaming at the lender. Mama gave me that telescope. Put it down, stop, stop. The next thing I knew, he shoved the lender with all his might, and he fell from the second floor window. So it was William who did it. Lucy just took the blame. The lender landed headfirst and died on the spot. William was next to me, bawling, and then suddenly he passed out. The sight of his broken telescope. His heart just couldn't take it. But thanks to that, William never realized that he was the one who killed the lender. It was at that moment that I made my decision. I would take William's place. I would take the blame for the murder and go to prison. I endured it for years, rotting in that cell, thinking, I have to protect his future. I can't interfere with his future. If we ever met, he would forever see himself as the son of a murderer. So I swore to stay far away from him. Yes, swore on my soul. All you wanted was to live for your son. But that wish didn't come true, did it? You're right about that. But Lucy, let me make one thing clear. I don't think you're a bad mother. Because the moment you got out of prison, you immediately ran to a certain place. That's right, she ran to the phone booth. That was a phone box. You couldn't see William in person, So you wanted to at least hear his voice, right? Yes, that's right. I remember the place, too. It was the phone box in the park, in the middle of town. I opened the door and stepped inside. Then I tried to call him, but I couldn't. I didn't have the courage or the money. But then, a little girl I never met called out to me. Her voice reminds me of yours, actually. Wait, that wasn't me, was it? No. The two of you have similar voices as all. Though I dared to imagine you were her for a moment. How silly of me. It seems girls half my age keep showing me how to be brave. Lucy. There, in the middle of town, that girl called out to me. Don't look so sad. When I didn't reply, she gave me a coin and told me, if you have someone precious to you, and you want them to know how you feel, you should tell them right away. You'll regret it if you don't. I tightened my grip on the coin when she said that. I went back into the phone box and dialed William's number. William, please pick up, I prayed as I gripped the phone till my hands ached. William, please pick up, again and again. Please answer the phone. William, I want to talk to you. Oh, this is the recreation of their call. So Tia says, I feel like a proper justice system would consider the victim's conduct, Lucy's lack of criminal record, and the fact that William would have been worse off without renewed sentencing. Oh, right, yeah, from before we knew that it was William who did it. Like, even if Lucy was in fact the one who did it, then yeah, I see what you're saying, Tia. Those facts would all be important. Maybe there's some simple community service would have done rather than retribution. I think that's a good point, yeah. That would have made, certainly would have made things better if it had gone that way, instead of the retributive way. Aunt Kathy. Papa told me Mama doesn't want to see me anymore. Mama abandoned me. Never. Mama abandoned me. No, she didn't. Lucy wanted to see you again so much. That's what kept her going the whole time she was locked up. She loves you with all her heart. Please, you have to believe me. I want to believe you. I don't believe you. I believe what Papa said. No. Please, believe me. Lucy. Why should I believe you? Mama died. Oh, sorry. Can't read today. Mama did a very bad thing. And then she went to prison. Mama abandoned me. So I'm going to believe Papa. Mary, it's futile. You cannot answer on William's behalf. Oh, I remember him saying this to us earlier. The past cannot be changed. But that's just too sad. William, listen. There's a very good reason your mama went to prison. Yeah? She had no choice. Aunt Kathy, I don't want to talk about Mama anymore. I'm going to hang up now. William, wait. Before you do, just once. I want you to call me what you used to. Your papa's not the only one who loves you. So please, just once, if you could call me your Please call me Ma. Please call me Ma. Wait, Auntie, do you see that? The moon is falling. The moon? Everything's gone silent. Is it because this is the moment the moon fell? That's right, Mary. This is when the apocalypse arrived. There is no one on the other end of this call. Hence, it is time to hang up the phone. William, are you still there? What's wrong? That's Lucy's voice. Why aren't you saying anything? Listen to me, Mary. Despite what you hear on the other end of that line, Lucy is no longer here. William, are you okay? Say something. William! Hamlet, can't you hear Lucy's voice? She's still on the line. Well, it's true that something on the other end is trying to talk to you. And rather tenaciously at that. As for what that something is, one might call it the being in a superposition of life and death. Not quite alive, not quite dead. Or in layman's terms, merely something that stubbornly continues to cling to life. Is that what it is? Indeed, pay it no mind. You mustn't engage with those things in any way, shape, or form. But why not, though? Now put down the receiver and end the call. That's not Lucy. Whatever it is, there's no longer any trace of Lucy left within. Now end the call. Cut the line to which it still clings. It's still calling out for William. I miss you. I want to hear your voice. Ooh, only one choice. I thought it would give me multiple choices, but it's only one. Also, I'm going to drink some water right now. I know this is an intense moment, but I've been going for a while. Make sure to drink some water, chat. Okay, there we go. I can hear you. Oh, thank goodness. Strikes me as heartless. Isn't there more to it than this? Yeah, I would think so. I feel like the Hamlet is giving up too easily. You cut out all of a sudden, and I feared the worst. Sorry, I think the phone's not... So I guess now we are responding as if we're William. Sorry, I think the phone's not working. I can hear you just fine. So can I. Good, good. Let's keep talking. Let's say everything we couldn't back then. There's so much I have to say. This time, I want to make sure you know. Okay, yes, now we're free to talk about anything. Mary, what do you think you're doing? This call is over. Why? I finally found a way to get Lucy to open up. Now I can pretend to be William and tell her what she needs to hear. You mustn't do that. I implore you, Mary, listen to me. Doing so puts you in grave danger. I can still try. Put the phone down! William, say something, please. Do not answer it, Mary. William, please, let me hear your voice. I know how Lucy feels. Why that is, I'm not sure, but... I'm so lonely. I want to hear someone's voice, this person's voice. I should say something or say nothing. Ugh. This is such a tough one, chat. Because, on one hand, I do want to be there for Lucy. And I think she needs someone to talk to now, but I also don't want to lie to her. I don't want to pretend I'm William when I'm in fact not. But at the same time, if I just say nothing, I feel like that ends a really interesting plot thread and we won't get to find out whatever happened to Lucy. Whereas if we say something, I feel like at least maybe we'll get to find out the truth of what happens to Lucy, which I'm super curious about. So I'm thinking maybe we should go for it, you know? I also kind of like that this is the first time in the game that Mary is actually asserting her own will and not just following what Hamlet says. This confrontation feels a little like Madoka wishing for no more witches. Yeah, it kind of does in a way. I want to know what happens. Yeah, definitely. I wish there was a way to save your game, but I don't think this is that kind of game. It just saves automatically. And say something. Of course I should. I had someone I wished to talk. I had someone I wished would talk to me too. Don't worry. I can hear you. So we decided to go through with it. Thank goodness. Don't go silent on me again, okay, William? Keep talking to me. To your Aunt Kathy. Okay, Aunt Kathy. Good boy, thank you so much. I was wondering if it would give us the option of letting her know that we know that she's Lucy. But I guess it's not going to do that. About Mama. Your Mama, of course. Ask away. I know all there is to know about her. Aunt Kathy, did Mama... go to prison because of me? Go to prison because of me. Mama went to prison because of me, didn't she? What are you talking about? You had nothing to do with it. It's not your fault, not at all. Your mama's the one at fault. That's why she was locked up. I say, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think Mama did anything wrong. William, don't tell me you know the truth. Yes, I'm the one who did the bad thing. William, why? How did you find out? I was so desperate to hide it. To keep you from finding out. I've never told a soul. Also notice she's not speaking as Aunt Kathy anymore. She just says, I've never told a soul. Say, William, should Mama tell you everything right now? Yes, I want to know everything. Please, I want to know everything. I'm sorry. I just can't find the right words. William, I honestly can't tell what's good or bad anymore. I did something bad to you. That was willingly going to prison and leaving you without a mother. But on the other hand, I also did something good for you. I was willingly going to prison to protect you. I did it for you, to protect your future. So I want to talk about your future. The future. What do you want to talk about my future, Aunt Kathy? These are both good, but I think I want to know how Mama's doing. My future can wait. I want to know how Mama's doing. She's well right now. I believe she's in a phone box calling someone and crying her eyes out. Who is she talking to? Why is Mama crying? I'm not sure, but it may be since, at long last, she can talk to someone very, very important to her. Okay. When I grow up... Ooh, my future doesn't matter, the world ended. I don't think that's what she needs to hear now, though. So I'm going to be an astronomer. William, I'm so glad to hear that. So glad you didn't give up on that dream. William, can you tell me something? I heard from your mama, Lucy, but ever since you told her you wanted to become an astronomer, she worked very hard to save money and bought you a telescope. Do you still have it? Yes. I don't know who would pick the right-hand option. Papa said he'd buy me new. So I've kept it safe and sound. Kept it safe and sound the whole time. You have, you sweet boy. I also heard that even if the telescope I gave you became nothing more than a pile of junk, you said you would always treasure it. So it was true. William, your mama must be very happy right now. Being able to talk to you like this. I never ever want to hang up. I want us to keep talking just like this, forever and ever. Forever and ever. Aunt Kathy, were you crying? No, I'm not crying. You know how grown-ups aren't allowed to cry. I think it's okay for grown-ups to cry. That's right, no shame in crying if that's the way you find yourself dealing with your feelings. Hey, what's wrong? Say something. Don't abandon. Oh. It's intriguing the way they have this broken up into 3 different options. If I choose this one, it just says abandon me, so I think I should choose the don't first. Don't. You're my one and only. Mama. Yes, you're my one and only mama. There we go. You're my mama. Mama. Yes. That's right. I'm your mama. And I always will be your mama. William. You finally called me mama. I'm so happy. Thank you. And to you on the other end of the line, thank you. And goodbye. That must be the end of her story. Mama. Hello? Mama. Mama, say something. Why won't you answer me? Mama, what happened? Why aren't you saying anything? Did you abandon me again? Mama. Mama, did something happen? Please tell me, Mama. Mama. Goodness. Oh no, is William now stuck? Because we kept talking to Lucy. Come to think of it, I wonder if this game was inspired directly by Les Mis. The plotline is very reminiscent of Act 1 of Les Mis. Okay. Perhaps I would not be too surprised. I mean, I'm not familiar with Les Mis, very familiar with it, but I know it's a major work, so I wouldn't be too surprised if this game had its inspiration partly in that. Goodness. Mary, it's over. Lucy has been saved. Okay, good. We saved Lucy. You can put the phone down. But was it at the cost of William? I really hope not. Who are you? What happened to Mama? She was saved. Mama. Mary, I told you to stop. Listen to me. William does not exist anymore. Do you understand me? He doesn't? No, he does not. You must reclaim yourself, Mary. Your time acting as William has ended. I was acting. Indeed you were. Do you know who you are? I guess my identity became subsumed into William's for a moment. Yes, I'm Mary. Am I Mary? Yes, you are indeed Mary. Phew, that's better. Now put the phone down. So that is the end of episode 1. We managed to save Lucy's soul. Now she can be at peace. I hung up. Not talking to anyone anymore. Where am I? What's that outside the window? Is that Hamlet? What's going on? Ooh, I can look around. Is that a shelf I see? It's too dark to tell if it really is one. Ooh, this must be looking back on her life. Maybe this was just shortly before the apocalypse. I'm getting to see what Mary saw. There's a black phone on the table. It's like waiting for someone to start a call. The full moon. It's so beautiful. But why is it making me feel so lonely? There's something on the desk. It's a diary. What could it be? It feels almost familiar to the touch. Should I look inside? Yeah, I think I should open it. Live for someone else. That was the choice we made at the start. Yes, it's Mary's diary. I want to live for someone else. I wonder when blank will come back. When will they come for me? Don't leave me here, please come back. If I prayed to the moon to live for someone else, would someone make my wish come true? Whose diary is this? Oh. Who could this be? Is it going to be Hamlet? Hamlet's going to be the one who calls us again. Hello. That voice is... It's the person with their name crossed out again. Is it really that person? Sorry, I couldn't hear you clearly. Who is this? It's his voice. There's no way I could be mistaken. Who are you? You don't recognize me. It's me, your beloved. Oh, it's garbled again. Let's keep... until we both are... We'll keep blank until you start to feel blank. Do we know each other? I apologize. I shouldn't have said that. Everyone has the right to become who they really are. You don't need to act like someone else. Become who they really are. I can become who I really am. Yes, I think you absolutely can. I can become who I really... On that note, Tia, this is connecting to what you were saying earlier about the existentialism connection in this game. Yes, become who you are. Do you really think so? You shouldn't. Mary, do you remember what you've done? You've trapped your memory into a dark, dark box. Remember what you've done. All of it. So I guess she has her demons too, in her memories. It's all your fault. We don't know who's saying this to her. It's very ominous. Yeah, the voice she was talking to seems like kind of a dark presence. Maybe there will be a final boss to this game. What was I doing? You acted out the rest of the unfinished call, Mary. And after I tried to warn you. The unfinished call? Right, I pretended to be William to help Lucy. And then I ended up in a strange room. What was that? About that room. I'm betting it's her past that we're looking into. Why did I end up in that room? Just when I thought the call was over. That blue room. I don't recognize it at all. Yet, for some reason, it feels familiar. This phone is so... It's just one thing after another. You finally called me Mama. I'm so happy. Thank you. And to you on the other end of the line, thank you. It's almost like she knew it was us talking the whole time. And goodbye. In her final moments, Lucy was saved, just like John was. At least according to Hamlet. If so, I hope she's finally at peace. But if we saved Lucy and Hamlet was so against us talking with her, continuing to talk with her, does that mean that he didn't want Lucy to be saved? I feel like he owes us a little more of explanation of what his motivation was there. I really do. That's right, yeah. Thank you to you on the other end of the line. So if I go to my notebook now... Okay. Nothing else I can do there, but Maybe if I talk to Hamlet, he'll tell us a little more. Now, no need to be dispirited. You did, in fact, save Lucy, despite my repeated warnings. As unorthodox as your methods were, they were undeniably successful. You freed Lucy of her past regrets. She let go and succumbed to death. Just like John, her cycle of life and death was finally broken. Is that a good thing? Did I help her? But of course, take pride in your achievements. You saved Lucy, and she died happy. What more could one ask for? Did she? I guess that is good. Indeed, you've done well so far. Now keep it up for the next spirit. The next? Who's next? Can I even do anything? You share an emotional wavelength with them. Only you can truly empathize with their woes. Only I can. Mary, need I remind you, you are the world's last confidant. This is like his favorite line. It is also in your best interest. Ooh, how so? Mine? Remember, Mary, there are still many spirits on the line, waiting to connect with you. And with that, I shall leave the rest to you. Farewell. Wait. Stop running off on me. I still have questions. What am I supposed to do now? What's next for me? For some reason, I began wondering if it was Mary who somehow caused the end of the world and she doesn't remember. That could maybe, that would help explain why she is apparently such a special person, is maybe only the person who caused the apocalypse has the power to be the world's last confidant and set things right in a way. Of course, I don't know how she would have caused the apocalypse, but maybe there's some way in the world of this game. What am I supposed to do now? According to Hamlet, there are still spirits waiting on the other end of the line. They're waiting for me. People shouldering huge burdens, just like Lucy, want to speak to me. Oh. Huh? The phone's ringing. Is that one of the spirits? Okay. I think that probably is one of the spirits, chat, but I think now is a good time to end it here. Yeah, I think this is a good stopping point because we just finished Lucy's story arc and are right at the start of another one. I will say, though, I don't know if I'll continue playing this game on stream. I like the game reasonably well, but right now we've done 2 streams on it, and that was just the end of the first episode. Somehow I get the feeling that this is a relatively long game. Of course, I don't know how many episodes it has. I might have to look that up, but if it's the kind of game that's going to take 10 or 12 or 15 streams to get to the end of it, I don't know, I might just content myself with doing 2 streams and kind of introducing people to the game, and if they want to see how the story continues, they could either maybe watch other streams or play it on their own. Though I don't know, if people really like watching me play it, I suppose I could perhaps be motivated to continue. But I will just say right now at this point, I'm not entirely sure if I'll continue playing this one stream, even though I do think it's a quite well done game overall. For the most part, it's a very, I think, compelling visual novel. Certainly compelling in its aesthetics, its graphics, its sound, but also I think has some interesting story elements. So we'll see. I'll just have to see about that one. I feel rather uncomfortable with how much this feels like blackmail. The real seems to be work indentured servitude if you want to recover your memories. It does kind of seem like blackmail. Which makes me wonder if is Hamlet really a good character in this game? Or is there a darker aspect to Hamlet's character that maybe we'll find out as the game goes on? Understandable, it's pretty slow paced. Yeah, I think that's part of it, is that, and I mean, in general, I don't mind when games go slow, but when it comes to playing them on stream, I feel like usually games that have a bit of a faster pace or perhaps ones that are a little easier to play on stream. I'd rather... I meant the deal. Right, yeah, like... But I mean, I know you meant the deal. I'm just saying, like, since Hamlet seems to be kind of like the one who set up the deal, I feel like if the deal feels like blackmail, then to me, that arguably reflects somewhat on Hamlet. But I don't know. I mean, it could be like if someone else is responsible for the deal, then maybe Hamlet is off the hook. To be honest, I'd rather watch you play Replaced, personally. Okay. Well, I'll take that into account. Maybe I'll have to go back and play that one again. For some reason, Replaced, it was really just not a fun game to play. But if people find it fun enough to watch, then I suppose it could still be a fun experience on stream. Anyway, I still haven't decided what I'll be streaming next week, but maybe tomorrow I'll decide that. But before then, I just wanted to say, yeah, thank you, everyone, and Tia especially. I know you've been in it for the long haul on this stream, so thank you for all of your thoughts and your input, and everyone else who tuned in, thank you as well. But yeah, I think for right now, I'm just going to take a little break, and we'll be back sometime next week to see the rest of you then. I hope you all have a really nice rest of your Sunday evening, though. Or not Sunday evening. What am I saying? I can't even remember what day it is. Saturday evening, and then a good rest of your Sunday. Oh, Penboo says thanks. Oh, yeah, thank you, Penboo, for stopping in. It was really good seeing you here. Good night, it was fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed reading your comments, Tia, and both of you really enjoyed your comments. So, yeah, have a good Saturday, a good Sunday, a good start to next week, and we'll see you all again very soon. Bye, everybody.